Hello.
So how are you after the big move?
Oh, you see the dark circles
Yeah,
here?
it's hard.
It is. And like I got this burst of energy last night at like 10:30. I'm like, oh, let's unpack some more boxes. And the cat's like, really? Really? Can we just lay down?
You and another friend I have. That's when she gets most of her work done after 9 o'clock at night. It's like I'm on my recliner and I'm not moving after 9 o'clock at night. And I was like, I don't know how you guys do that.
I'm really good like in the morning, early morning, and then like late at night. It's weird. But around I can tell you when 2:30 hits, 2:30 to 3, because all of a sudden it's like I get unplugged from the wall and I'm like, oh, I'm like, it's mid-afternoon, pour another cup of coffee.
Right. Or take my little cat nap right now.
Yes, yes. We got a whole bunch of good mornings and hellos. We have Brooke, Melanie, hey, Rebecca, and I need to follow up with your email. Sorry, moving. It's all encompassing, but it's finally winding down. Amy and Christine, Helen, Robin, Romper, Bumper, Stomper, Boo. Amy, hey, Sandy. Sandy was helping me unpack some craziness last night.
That's nice.
Helping organize this cabinet in here because I had to take two cabinets and cram it into one. Hello, Swifty. Oh, Brooke says she got her order yesterday. The Blessed Sea Salt Soap is incredible.
Really good stuff. It really is. And just so you know, on the little band that's on that soap is the name of the girl that makes this stuff. She has got lotions and other soaps, and she's got wonderful stuff. If you ever go to her website, I mean, and she'll ship her soap anywhere. So
She got good stuff for psoriasis. I'll have to get a hold of her.
you know what? She might.
Okay.
Yeah, she just might.
Another Sandy. All the Sandys. Wait, where'd our friend go? Lewis is back. Not that we deserve his presence. What? Evil Queen going on. We love you, Lewis. Deborah, we love all of our friends actually. And Natalie, Judy. And Stolen, not too far. And let's see, we have Aaron and Melody. So
Pretty cool that I start recognizing some of the names now.
right, yeah,
The regulars, right? That's pretty cool.
right. And here we go. We were gonna just go right into this.
She remembered
Any
better than me.
right. And that's funny because Marianne and I we chat sometimes before, well, almost always before live and after. And I was complaining, and Sandy says, "So the Wi-Fi is working?" No, we're on the public, so of course I'm not doing any banking or shopping. We're still on that hotspot. So needless to say, the internet setup here has been a nightmare. Last night while unpacking, Sandy turned on music, and as kind of heard a little something, so she pauses. My iPad across the room had been playing music, and when I go to open up the screen, it's in my files, and I'm like, I never go in there. And I'm like, damn fairies. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be perfect for tomorrow. And was telling Marianne this, and she goes, "Are you going to ask or not?" And I go, "Well, remember, that's the whole point of today's live."
Yeah, like I said, that just went totally out of my head that's what we were going to do. And it's like we're talking, and it's like, Melissa, ask me. There's stuff there. Ask me.
And I keep telling you, you never have to wait for me to ask. You just go, right?
Yeah, and it's still the principle of the thing. So.
OC and Amy's like, tell us about your new place. And yes, any spirit activity. Other than my iPad turning itself on or turning the music on, but I'm pretty sure it would have had to have been woken up because it was sitting down on the bottom shelf next to the modem. I'm sure there's a body imprint of me sitting in front of the modem all from yesterday. But, at night there was knockings and bang, but I'm like, it's an apartment, right? But there's nobody above me, nobody below me. So I shrugged it off. I didn't.
How many common walls do you have? One?
Two. One on either end. I'm in the middle. I'm the middle
Okay.
over.
Okay. Well, after this morning, if this works, your modem has something to do with this 22, 23-year-old guy that's in the house. Because the whole time you were telling me about the problems with the internet and everything else, he's just standing there going,
Oh, what a jackass.
it's like, oh my God. And he's in the hallway right now in front of the bathroom.
And I guess we can do a tour, right? Because I have to be
We
tactful.
can.
And see, so that ignore my packing, guys. So there's the hallway. And,
And there he is.
Right there.
That's exactly where he is. Now, if you can flip it over to the kitchen, that's where the lady is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kitchen still in process of being unpacked.
Yeah, that's her standing right in front of the stove. And she's standing there with her arms crossed, just tisking because things aren't in order yet. Apparently, she was very efficient.
Well, I wonder then, she the one turning on the gas knobs?
She's messing with it. Yes, she is.
I knew it wasn't me.
No, ma'am, not you. Not you.
Because Sandy, even last night, she's like, check your gas. Did you blow yourself up? And I'm like, did not, but I don't remember doing that.
Do you have screens on your windows?
Yes. Yes.
Well, the kid has disrupted one of the screens in one of the bedrooms. It's not where it's he's shimmied it around where it's not straight like it's supposed to be.
Well, it's funny because the first one I tried to open and move is the spare bedroom, and I could not get that. And I was even like complaining about it to Sandy, but I was doing it on this one and it came right open. And I'm like, well, why did that not work in there?
No, it's one of the bedrooms that he was messing with, and it could be the spare room. You know, I don't know which one, but yeah, he was messing with one of the windows. So okay. There is an older couple that lived there, maybe 2 units down from you. That's where the old woman's from. She has something to do with those people. So she is definitely, she's just so nosy. She's just looking at all your stuff, touching everything. And Seth is hiding because she does not like him.
Oh, well, he came back out.
Yeah, he's afraid of her.
There he is.
Yeah. If I don't look at the kitchen, she's not there.
Right. To put my back to the kitchen and ignore.
Right. Right.
Because he hid behind the toilet all day yesterday. When I tried to bring him out, and he just did the hunch and went right back in. But right around as Sandy was leaving, he kind of came out, and I guess to be like, well, where'd our friend go? And then he's kind of stayed out, the whole time. But every now and then he'll disappear for a little bit. And, I'm like, where are you?
Don't forget, these people, these two ghosts you have in there, they are attached to other apartments in the complex. So in and out and in and out. So he may have come out a couple times when nobody was there. I'm going to guess that by doing this today and getting the seeds up, it's a really good thing. Because when Rune shows up here, because of the age, I'm going to think that he would have started really hanging out with Rune.
Yeah, because Rune's 18, so right around in that.
Exactly. And Rune doesn't need any more distractions.
No, he's got college to focus on.
That's right. So we don't need that. He has seen him because Rune's been there.
Well, not inside.
Out the outside, though.
Yeah, we drove by, and I'm like, this is where it's going to be. He's like, it's so tiny. And I'm like, well, we're going from a 2,200 square foot house that used to be a funeral home to this. Right. So briefly outside in the car, but.
Well, he saw you driving by.
Nosy.
Yeah. Do you want to ask? See, we should explain. This is what happens when people come on Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to tell Melissa what's, the two spirits that are in there. Now I can't get rid of them, but you've got smudge sticks and you can smudge and everything else. And you've only, see, this blows my mind. You only have the one way in there, right?
Yeah, one door. Um, but each um, main room, if you call it. So the living room's got this window, but it's actually like pretty big, almost like it's two together. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
but
okay,
it's not a door.
so I was wondering, I'm like, do we? Because you mentioned sometimes at dorms you do them. So on first floor apartments, do you do the windows?
No, I do not.
Okay.
And because you don't have, like I said, dorm rooms, you have, teenagers jumping in and out of dorm windows from the third floor down. And that's why you do it there, but not in the only thing is if it's a really, really old apartment building, and sometimes, and we figured it out. Remember, and I think we talked about it, some of the old fashioned medicine cabinets have that slit in the back of it to put bad blades down or old razor blades. But you don't have anything. They hardly even put medicine chests or medicine cabinets in houses anymore.
No,
We
these
put
are
it in the drawers. Right. There's just
and,
a window, a mirror up there. Exactly. So,
there's like this little long, elongated, like sliding thing underneath. And I'm like, how funny that there's new kitchen appliances, but the bathroom fixtures. And I'm like, but those are still from like the 70s. I don't care.
Right. As long as it works, that's okay. So who cares? That's right. That's right. So, do you want to ask general questions? Is what we tell the people on Zoom. Is there anything you want to ask where I can see a yes and no? They'll shake their head yes or no.
I'm so used to us doing this that I kind of ignore it. And I'm like,
Okay.
let's see if anybody in the audience, is there something that they would want to ask? So like this
Good
is
idea.
an example of what would happen.
Okay, if this was happening to you, what would you want to know?
Right. Thank you. I figured it was appropriate for the personality today. Next sarcastic comment.
Great.
We already established, that I don't know them. But if this was a family member or father, sometimes, the person might say, trying to think, what if some of them asked when?
Well, if they just flat out ask, "Are you my father?" they're going to shake their head no or yes. So, and again, neither of these two are related to you, I'm sure. I'm sure they're apartment ghosts, from the complex.
Let's see. So we do know, Rebecca says, are either of the spirits attached to a family in the complex? And we know that the
older woman is attached to that older couple. I don't know how, but she's attached to the older couple somehow. And like I said, she's just nosy. You would have been more aware of her being there once you had everything in order, because she would be the one that would walk by and rearrange things. And it's like, no, I didn't leave it like that. But then you think, yeah, I must have, because you think you're crazy otherwise. So, yeah, but no, that would be her. So with everything still in boxes, I don't think that she's been, except turning on the gas, I don't think that she's been too aware.
Right. Well, and the funny story behind that, I'm like, I am 41. I've been around kitchens and appliances, right? And that first day that I'm sitting here unpacking, which was the day before yesterday, just kind of doing some of the kitchen before the big stuff comes in, less boxes. And I'm like, man, my throat's getting dry, my head's starting to hurt. And I'm like, what is that smell? And I'm looking everywhere, and I'm turning off the AC and everything, and I'm calling maintenance, and I'm like, I'm smelling gas, blah, blah, blah. And they come right down. And he's got his meter, and he goes, well, here's your problem. And I'm like, what? And the one knob was just, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I feel like a complete idiot. And I'm like, I haven't cooked anything, haven't there were a couple of things like set on there, like Sandy put in there, move the napkins, right? Because those are going to go up, but it's that chain effect of moving things
Right.
around. And I'm just going, I didn't touch it. I didn't, and even if you're reaching above, there's nothing that would have. And I'm like, but I must have, right? Because I was the only one in here. And then last night, while Sandy and I were getting ready to sit down and eat, she's like, smelling gas again. Another knob had been turned. And she goes, get the stuff off this. And she goes, and I'm like, you know what? I'm almost tempted to disconnect it completely because I've got a Instapot and a toaster oven. Like, I refuse to blow myself and everybody else up with, but I'm like, why?
I've done it here. There's cupboards over the gas stove here. And because the older I'm getting, the shorter I'm getting, it's very hard to reach the stuff in the top cupboard now. So I'm like on my tippy toes leaning over the stove. And I've learned, because I'm just not, I know everybody loves gas stoves, not me. I like electric. And I've learned with this gas stove, when I've got my bathrobe on or my nightgown on, not to reach up over the top because I'm going to set myself on fire. But Ted came in the living room the other night and he said, why is the burner on the stove? I said, fire? I mean, he goes, yeah, but the back one, we never used that one. Well, I'd gotten something out of the cupboard and I did it because my house is clear, but I did it. And so sometimes you can do things. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if anybody noticed while we were talking and you were talking. Did anybody notice that's watching the light change behind Melissa? It got brighter and then it got a little duller and then it got brighter. The guy came into the living room and was standing behind her. And that's why, I don't know if you noticed it or not, Melissa, but I don't know if anybody else did.
No, I've been kind of reading comments because there was one suggestion that said pull the knobs off the gas stove until the seeds are up. And I'm like, I like that one. Rebecca mentioned putting a charm on the stove.
Yes, well, but we're going to take care of it now, so it's okay, right?
One person was wanting to know if his name is Josh.
No.
So no.
Holding up a number 1. Oh, ask him if does your name start with an A? Yes.
Aaron.
A is the first letter in the alphabet, so that's what he's trying to tell us. It's an A name.
Lewis wants to know, what is he wearing?
From the 70s, Lewis. So he's got that longer hair in the back and shaggy on the top, but he is sort of cute. He's not bad looking. He's not a very big guy. He's probably about 5'9", slight build. And I will tell you this, I don't know, it's not lit, but he does have a cigarette in his hand. Have you smelled smoke?
Well, I burn incense and okay. Yeah. But now that I'm thinking about it, like I have the allergy app on my phone from FMD that wherever you're at, it'll tell you grass, tree, pollen. And I'm like, everything is low. And I'm like, my sinuses and my allergies are killing me. And I wake up this morning all full and I'm like, and I'm checking the app and I'm like, everything is low. So now I'm like, huh.
Well, it's probably that too. Plus the fact moving all that stuff, whether you do it or not, there's dust everywhere. I'm sure the dust is affecting you too.
Right. So, I'm like, between that, I'm sure, if them hanging around probably isn't helping much.
Yeah, right.
I did not have any weird dreams last night.
Well, that's good. At least that tells me that nobody was in the bedroom with you. So that's good.
Good. Oh,
that's good.
Bought When Ghosts Speak on Amazon and loved it.
Good.
It's funny though. I really don't remember a whole lot of my dreams unless it's really more spiritually or psychic. Like I'm one of those people. I'm out. Before I moved out of the house, Nikki with all of her animals, a couple nights ago, like the dogs went just completely insane at 1:30 in the morning because a neighbor came home, pretty loudly drunk. I didn't hear a thing. Tornadoes can go by. I will not hear a thing. Let a baby start crying. I'll hear that and wake up.
That's the mother thing.
I'm dead to the world and I'm gone. So it's weird. But every now and then when I do have those dreams, though, it's usually people I've never met, and it's weird. So do we know the guy's name? We don't. We know it starts with an A.
Starts with an A. Oh, let me see. 4. A-D. Is it a D? I bet his name is Adam.
Yep.
It's Adam. And see why those
to hang around that long
zooms are
in this
so
apartment
long.
complex.
He's messed with the computer. You're froze.
Let's see. What about this lady? Why? Well, she can't really tell us this way. I'm like, why are you turning on the burners of the stove? Why not just knock boxes over?
Because it gets your attention more if it's something dangerous.
Oh, like the napkins on the burners.
Right. Your computer's going wacko.
It could be part of the connection because of being on that public Wi-Fi. So hopefully it hangs in there long enough.
We can hear you, but you're all fuzzy.
Oh, well.
We can hear you.
Okay. Well, that part's good. That's part good. We have Liz from South Carolina. Hello, Liz. Rhonda says the light keeps shifting behind me. Is he pacing or is he?
That's exactly right, Rhonda. He's moving. He's going back and forth, and that's why the light is going behind her like that. Yes.
Okay.
He's got a lot of energy. If you could, Melissa's frozen in that picture, but can you see it looks like fog over her one shoulder? That is him.
Well, see, and it's funny because Chrissy says I can see him on her shirt.
That's right. There you go. And Chrissy, good news. I got your telephone message. It came through. Yes, the man is gone. Just so you know. So you did it. You did it. So keep on doing what you're doing.
Sandy says to ask Adam to go back into the hallway.
Yeah, it would be easier because I bet the computer would work if he went back out of there too.
And what's hilarious is for me, everything's working normal. Everything looks fine for me. So I'm not frozen to me.
Right. And that is why when your repairmen were there or your techs were there, everything looks fine to them. Because according to their equipment, it is fine.
Mm-hmm. So Julie is seeing, I guess, like the purple fog. So to Julie,
I don't see it as a color. I just see the fog as, I guess it is sort of, yeah.
Let's see. So Lisa Malloy says, is he trying to figure out what is going on, or is he just being nosy and hoping to be seen on the live?
He thinks he's funny by doing this. But I guess if you're dead, you got to do something for laughs.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, and Sandy says he must have moved because I guess I'm not frozen anymore.
Yeah, you are.
Let's see. So a lot of people actually, I guess it's pretty strong. I have a little bit of a glare on my screen between the light above us and then so I can't really see. I'll have to go back and watch. Sandy Me is asking if I'm in any danger because of this spirit, and maybe more so of the lady turning on my burners.
Yeah, more of that. But don't forget, with them being in your unit like this, that's probably why you're all plugged up too with your sinuses, because that's one of the signs. A lot of congestion.
Yeah, because it's all Well, and you guys can't see me. I'm like pointing to my
Well, we
sign.
can, but you're all fuzzy.
And then, but Lewis here, where is it? He said he loved the description of your grandma's funeral attire, the diamond hair clips, red lipstick, and the hair done up. And then in all caps, it says, "What an icon."
Yeah, truly. Grandma was unique. There's no doubt about it. It's
Yeah.
funny.
So,
There was a family wedding this past Saturday, and I think out of all the first cousins, there's like 30 some of us, only 2 or 3 weren't there. But boy, enough. And grandma sure came up, everybody talking about grandma stories, and everybody had some kind of a story about grandma. So
well, and that's, I find, or at least in my opinion, because I was a whole health aide, and I loved some of my little old ladies that I took care of, and the sassier and more fun they were, those were the ones. Even if they were somewhat troublemakers, like they were everybody's favorite patient to go take care of. And I had so many adopted grandmas because they were just awesome. And like old people can be so cool. I want to be one of those old ladies that everybody's like, well, what the hell is she doing now? And not just like sitting in a chair wasting away.
there was a commercial with a couple older women that went to a drugstore and bought, I don't know what it was for, I don't remember, but they bought a whole bag full of sunscreen. And they had these big straw hats on, and they must have put their sunscreen on because all they had were tops on or towels around them, running to the nude beach. There's a sign, nude beach. And it's like, you go, old ladies, you do your thing.
Yes. I'll get your kitty cat butt out of the camera here. Let's see. There was another question for the ghost. I think somebody was wanting to know what the lady's name was, but I don't know if she's standing around where you can see her to ask her.
It's not. And she's really grumpy looking. She would not be very cooperative. The 23. He's holding 3 up. He's 23 years old. He definitely is all full of himself. So that's why he wants to be acknowledged. She not so much. Right.
So, asking if I'm going to be smudging after the Zoom. I will probably wait until right after the tech guys come in. Just because, you smoke it up like an 80s bar and you let it sit for a bit before you open up and let it out. And if they're going to be coming and going, because they're supposed to come around 1. So
you do have the seed for the door, correct?
Well, you had told me to leave the seeds at my old house.
Well, yeah, but the people are going to be living in that house, so you didn't want to take them down.
Right. I did grab, sorry, Nikki, the one that I had extra that was over the attic entryway when that real pesky one kept trying to get in.
Yeah.
But they were coming in through the attic. The only extra I had at that time was a pendant charm that was the cat. And so I taped the cat up there.
Okay.
But you don't make the cat anymore. So I'm like, I am taking my kitty cat down.
Yeah, we don't have a cat charm anymore. Oh, yes, we do.
Yeah, I thought you guys were doing the kitty cat.
We're not doing ghost charms anymore for a couple years now, but the dog and the cat we're still doing.
Oh, well, I've got my ghost on. I keep him
well,
on.
As long as you have something before we get off.
Yeah.
And see, that's why he's not close to you. How far would you say from where you're sitting to that window? Is it about 5 feet, 6 feet?
No, that's probably about 15.
Oh, okay. My depth perception. So see, he's not close to you because he can't get close to you. And he's hearing everything I'm saying. So here's the thing, Adam. Melissa's going to put the seat up, tape it up over her door before I get off this call. And guess what, buddy? You're stuck in there forever. Yeah, not so much. He doesn't think so. He's shaking his head no. Yeah, you'll see. Yeah. You'll see.
Challenge accepted. Well, hopefully the old lady heard that and she just wandered on to go by one of the neighbors.
She came out of the kitchen. She's standing in the hallway. I think she's trying to figure out what it is that you're going to do that she can't come back.
Aha.
She's got her arms crossed like this, just glaring.
I'm almost tempted right now to take the ghost off while we're live and go put it over the door and see what they do. Where's the end?
That'll show them.
Where's the end? This part isn't what happens on the Zoom normally.
No.
I don't come to your house and put things over doors.
Oh boy, she scooted right out. She's gone. She left. She wasn't taking any chances. He's back in the hallway.
Okay, well, I can leave that one up there and go find my cat in my makeup bag later and put that back on in a little bit. So we'll see how he tries to come and go later. Whoops. There it is. We'll take that.
Trying to go to the door. He can't.
Told ya.
You're not going to have to, you won't have to smudge, because as soon as you take that charm down, he's going to go.
Okay.
You'll be okay.
Should we let him out?
Let's keep him around till we're almost done.
Just because I can.
Let's get in his face. Of course, it's you over there, not me. So.
Well, I'm sassy, because somebody asked how I felt with him being that close. And honestly, I have to be really, really, really tired to really perceive them. And by then I might see actual bits and pieces. I'm pretty good.
I don't know if he got close enough to you to feel a temperature change or not. I would doubt it.
I don't think so, though. There were times last night when, and I'm like, I'm 41. I could be going into perimenopause for all I know. But like, I would get really hot. And I'm like, well, I got the air at 75. Like, I shouldn't be. But I'm also, again, science, right? Medical science, thought nothing of it. Because I did not feel like I was being watched like I did in Florida.
Right.
So I was a little more worried about anything for today.
Let's put it this way. You probably wouldn't be, just age-wise would be enough where he wouldn't be interested in you looking at you that way.
Right.
So
it was more of the place in Florida, I think just because it was an Airbnb and so many people going in, I took it more as like nosy, right?
Right.
And so I even thought the first day, and I'm like, you're moving in, they're going to come see who the new live body is. And I'm like, I don't feel like I'm being watched, like nothing. And so I was a little more worried that there would be nothing to talk about today, that it would be boring.
And maybe you had to be there for a while before they moseyed over too. You never know.
Oh, Brooke, me sipping tea while Adam panics.
And good. That's what he's doing too. Like a pet. Yeah, right. Roll over now. Now pat your belly.
Right. Good boy. Coins and Ghouls says, are we allowed to watch the Zoom and not participate and just see how it goes? I mean, we actually have people that do.
We do. So. There's a good 3 or 4 people over the course of a month that'll just come on and sit there for the whole time and just listen to everything. And you know what? By listening, you learn stuff too. And so I think a lot of them, that's what they do. And, and again, I joke about it. They say it's better than evening TV,
right.
And for those people that are waiting for their turn, it's a long night. But for those people that are just listening, it goes by pretty fast.
Yes. And then because it's kind of long, and like Amy says, she's been on 3 and she's learned each time. So, but because they can go long, that's one reason why we cut down on the number of people, because we want it to be fair and we don't want everybody sitting there waiting forever to get to ask their questions. So, but Lisa said she would love to get one of the ghost charms. So when you bring them back,
Go to the website. The ghost charms. No, there's no ghost charms anymore.
no,
Ghost
but
charms are gone.
and they're really cute. They're only like this, and they look like they're hanging. Um, oh, how do we like
Well,
if they
there
were?
were 8 different ones, so I don't know which one you got.
Yeah,
Every
I
year
got
we
the
get a
one
different ghost.
where it
So
looks like, oh, or the different cat. You mean?
no, there's only one cat and there's only one dog, but there were like 8 different ghost charms.
Oh, the cat one. They look like they're like hanging off, or they were
Like
jumping
their
up.
little paws, right?
It's really cute. And then the ghost one that I have is like the little chunky one that comes down to the taper,
Oh,
and the little arms on the side.
yeah. Tubby boy.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
adorable, and he's the
Yeah.
one making Adam panic right now.
We don't have any ghost charms left, do we, Ted? Nah, I didn't think so. They've been gone for a long time.
So Lewis says, I can completely imagine Marianne like kicking down the door and trapping the ghost into a corner.
Yeah, no, you don't know me very well. Not happening.
Well, and Chrissy brings up a good point. She goes, glad she's gone. The gas won't come on again. So she'll
That's
leave
right.
my gas stove alone now and quit turning on the burners.
Exactly right.
So I'm like, I am not that dumb. I don't think that I would turn that knob to where it was just pumping out gas and it never clicked. You never heard it. It was just enough.
Yeah, that's what threw me with mine, because when you turn it on, it goes click, 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 click before it catches fire, which would normally be a dead giveaway that it's turned on.
Mm-hmm.
But I never heard anything, so I don't know.
Oh, see, Renee's got the little cat one too. They're adorable.
Yeah.
Oh, and the little sea turtle one, Cuyahoga.
Oh, that turtle's so cute, isn't it? And the horse. There's a lot of horsey people out there. People are loving the horse too.
Well, and Amy would get a ghost one too.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe we should think about bringing back one of the ghosts. Do you think, Ted? You want to bring back one of the ghosts?
Maybe a new one.
A new one? Okay, we'll think on that.
So your little ghost charms are going to turn into collectibles. And here in like 50 years, everybody's going to be trying to track down all the Marianne Quincy ghost charms.
Yeah, I think that's probably pretty true, to be honest with you, because I've had some people that have gotten hold of the store that they lost theirs, and could they get another one? And no, if they're gone, they're gone. And it's like, well, where can I find it? Should I go on eBay? Remember, I don't touch the computer. I don't know what you could find on eBay. I know people have found my books on eBay, which doesn't make me very happy, but
right.
At least, yeah.
I mean, and if you live in a state or city that has half-price books,
right.
know. But and then Lewis says, I can imagine Melissa coming off this call and doing like an evil supervillain laugh while Adam sits in the corner and cries.
Lewis, you got a little bitty mean streak in you, don't you?
I will not confirm or deny. Like, if you're going to come up in here and give me some shit, I'm going to give you shit right back.
Right.
And I'll let you know. But don't go around messing with people. Don't be an idiot. Just because you're invisible doesn't mean you get carte blanche. Let's see. So Amy says, I have an earthbound ex-boyfriend. He feels guilty about his passing. Got a charm, put it on a bracelet, and now he leaves me be. I appreciate it greatly.
You know what? Until you actually wear one of those charms, there's no way to describe it. It's like, oh, this is crazy. How's this little thing going to work? But it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And the fact that it's just something so simple.
Yeah. Sometimes complicated isn't necessary.
Everybody likes my t-shirt. Thanks, guys. It's amazing what you forget that you have when you unpack boxes. Like, oh yeah, I forgot I had that. Yeah, so a lot of people talking about the charms that they have, and like Rhonda, I think it was Rhonda who said she had the crescent moon one. Let's see. So when is the next Zoom meeting? There's one on the 13th, but it's full. So the next available right now, or as of what, 40 minutes ago when we checked, the one on the 23rd has 8 spots available. And then the 30th is pretty wide open. So the 23rd and 30th are Monday nights.
Yes, and the 23rd is the day after a full moon, so their energy should be pretty high on the 23rd. Plus, this Sunday, the 8th, is the Law of Abundance. The newsletter should be coming out in a couple of days, but it's this Sunday, Eastern Standard Time, 9:50 a.m., which is very easy to do. And just remember to do it correctly in your time zone. But, do it definitely. It's definitely worth it.
So there's a couple of questions about how to buy the charms, and give me a second here, guys. I'll find here it is. So you go to Marianne's website, and it's under the shop. So there's a few different designs in there. Do you guys still have the little like resin earrings with the seeds in them too, or?
Yes, the post earrings. There's those. There's the bracelet. There's oh gosh, there's all kinds of stuff there.
And then for Zoom, this is where you would join us for Zoom. That link will work for all of them. Well, let me correct that. It will only bring up the ones that have available spaces. So it won't let you book on the 13th because it's full.
Already full, right?
But as long as we're doing this, if you're watching this 2 years from now, that link will still work.
Now, on the 22nd of August, for those of you that are local, I'm going to be at the Goddess Elite, and I'm going to be there for a book signing and meet and greet, and all the product will be there from about 4 to 6 on the 22nd, which is a Sunday, and then after that, there's a talk, and which will be the first one this year. So, and we just found out, Ted just saw on the computer that Giant Eagle, starting on Friday, you have to wear the masks again. They won't let you in without them. So hopefully we'll get this one done.
So Julie asked if Adam passed from a pulmonary episode caused from drugs. Says he feels confused and buzzed, but enjoys being recognized.
You know what? He does not look. I can usually tell if somebody died from like alcohol, because their body, they've got like the tummy and the coloring and everything. But he doesn't look like he died from drugs either. Now he's shaking his head no. Heart. No.
Do you have an accident, like with a vehicle?
Yep. Good guess. Crashed.
One of the metro parks close by. Hi, Sippy.
This is the thing. There he was, standing at his casket, being 23 years old, not wanting to be dead. Who wants to be dead when they're 23? So that's why he let the white light go, and he never went into it.
Somebody had asked if he was kind of pacing around trying to figure out how to get out, or if he's just kind of waiting by the door for me to go pull it down.
No, he's moved over a little bit, but he's not close enough he can't get that close to the door. So he's just sort of waiting, because you are going to take it down, and that'll make him, he's going to leave. He doesn't. And see, here's the other problem. I can't make the white light like this. I have to be there to make it. So all you have to do, Adam, is go to a funeral home in the neighborhood. Do you know the name of the closest funeral home around you, Melissa?
I can't think of the name, but there's actually one just up Stearns, on Stearns and Lorraine. It's on the corner, like catty corner from my store. That's the one that that firefighter had the funeral at.
Chambers, maybe. I don't know. You know what else you could do, Adam? I think, isn't that huge cemeteries just down the street from you, Melissa? By the mall?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You could go down to that big, huge cemetery and go someplace where they're burying somebody and use that white light and go. And you can go to
Oh,
the light that way.
chambers. Chambers.
That's what I thought it was. Yeah. I've been in so many funeral homes.
Yeah, well, we're gonna let him out. I'm not that mean spirited to keep him trapped in here. And quite frankly, my sinuses won't put up with it. So,
No, and your computer's got to work too. So you don't need them around.
yes, because like Lewis asked, any updates on the podcast? And we do need the computer to work for the podcast to become a thing. Uh, yeah, so I do need to sit down and finish talking with Miss Rebecca here on the musics, the intakes, the outtakes, and things like that. So it's in works. It's all this behind the scenes that has to happen. And it was kind of on hold for a week and a half while I was doing all of this moving. So
Working. It's going to work.
it's where we're quietly being productive in the back, and we will let you know as soon as that launches. And
Right.
and it will be available on pretty much every platform, Apple, Google, Amazon, Spotify. Trying to think of the other ones, but it'll be everywhere. So wherever you listen to podcasts, it'll be there. And it's going to be different. We're not just going to take like today's episode and throw it up as a podcast. It's going to be different. So don't worry that you'll lose this.
Yeah. And why would we do anything normal?
Yeah. Why would we make
Why would we do that?
Why would we be easy?
Right.
So Tony asks, if I have quin seeds around the house, do I need to remove them to do a Zoom?
No, you do not. Even if somebody still has negative energy on them or has negative energy in the house, that'll still show up. If you've got ghosts in the house and the quin seeds are up, but obviously if I've talked to you and the house was clear and you put the quin seed up, then there's not going to be any ghosts there, so you should be fine. But no, I think you still get information even if you have the seeds up, and a lot of people still come in to, even if the seeds are up.
Yeah, though if your house is clear and you have your seeds up, there won't be a whole lot to tell you.
Right, exactly.
We'll still give you the chance to ask, the two questions, which some people
let me look at pictures too. Sometimes I can get information off of a picture, and sometimes I can see, on Zoom some of the pictures and tell if somebody's around or not. So
let's see. So yes, sir, there's a couple people coming in late asking about internet problems and that I'm frozen. And the short recap is new apartment, had two ghosts, one's out, the other one's still in, have been having internet problems, and that there's a tech coming out, and I'm currently on a public hotspot to make this happen. So we're in the process of having this fixed, but part of this due to having a couple of earthbounds already here in my apartment when I came in. So, but if you go back and watch this from the beginning, because this will be available, you'll get to see all the fun and hear all of the information, including the one who did leave, who was the one turning on my gas burners and letting gas into the apartment. So I guess I should feel a lot more in danger than I'm just laughing about it now. Wasn't really worried.
See, here's the thing. They can't walk up and shoot you or stab you or put your pillow over your face and suffocate you. But, they can make your fuse box start a fire, turn on a gas stove, and, they can do, physical damage. They can physically hurt you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like she couldn't touch me, or if she was trying to, I didn't feel it. But to turn that
get close to you,
and there's only the one door. Because this is a ranch, there's no back door, back porch, only the front door and the set of windows in each out-facing room. So turn that gas knob on just enough that it's putting out gas. Well, it's gonna fill. So, and it took a while because my sinuses. That I noticed the headache and the dry throat first. So yeah, but
Good.
again, I I don't I don't react to danger maybe the way a sane person should. I'm more of like, really? Really? You want to do that? Really? It's what's that saying? Like, my death will be caused by like saying the most sarcastic moment at the wrong time or doing the wrong, like, here we are.
Exactly. Exactly. Right.
Died by messing with ghosts. Usually by my own fault, not from the ghosts.
Right.
um, no, things are fine. Like, they were messing with internet and the gas burner lady is out. And when we're done here, I'll go let Adam out and I'm sure he'll go find something else to do. Hopefully go down the road to the white light. Go tell the grumpy lady on your way, Adam. And
He's actually shaking his head. Yes, I think that's exactly what he's going to do,
you know,
which is good.
yeah. Um, I
And
know they
this
don't
is the
have
purpose, right? And this is the whole point with Zoom. Ghosts don't know how they can cross over on their own. And by listening to the conversation that I have with you when you're on Zoom, a lot of them can get themselves crossed over pretty easy. And just think too, every time I'm telling you to tell them what to do, if you stick around to give somebody grief when you die, which I really wouldn't recommend, but if that's what you're going to do, at least all of you know how to cross over on your own now.
right.
So
Like, there should be no excuses later.
that's exactly right.
Amy says, an earthbound set my mom's house on fire with the baseboard heating, which hadn't been turned on for 30 years because she had a fireplace. 3 forensic fire investigators and still ruled it out as an unknown.
You would be surprised how many fire chiefs and fire investigators that I've actually done work for. And one of the main reasons is that firefighters, paramedics, anybody in that realm of work has a tendency to bring stuff home with them. So once I've cleared their house and they know it's good, then if they see something similar that happened in a fire, then they will call me up and say, do you think this is what did it? They will still write on the report unknown, but they know that it was a ghost that did it.
Oh, wow. Judy's asking if you can see cats or dog ghosts.
I can. Absolutely.
There was a friend who just recently bought a house, and when I went over to, go see it when it was empty before furniture came in, it was just more of like, here's what it is. Wasn't looking for it, was actually more worried about tripping over that front step going in because it was just this weird height. And as that door opened and I'm looking to not trip and fall, like, I swear, I'm like, oh, there's a puppy here already. And, that friend is very agnostic, doesn't believe in anything. And so won't even entertain the idea of like having it confirmed. And I'm like, well, okay, whatever.
Some people, if they don't ask, they don't know, so it's not happening to them. I think some people are afraid if they ask that it's going to be a yes answer and they don't want to hear about it. So better off not even asking, and better off just saying, that's not real. That doesn't happen.
Right. Like, you're just
Listen
crazy.
to my phone, folks. It happens.
Right. Lori asks if orbs can disappear out of a picture, because it looked like she had a picture with one in it, a clear round orb with sort of a design in the middle. Now I checked it on my saved phone photos and it's gone.
I have never saw one disappear off of a picture, so I don't really know what happened. I mean, a picture is frozen. It's there. So I don't see how it could have moved off. If it wasn't a digital picture, look on your negative. But if it was digital, then I think it's gone.
Lewis wants to know if you ship charms overseas, and I know before you said no because it goes missing. So my hamster wheels are trying to figure out how do we get Lewis a charm.
Okay, what you have to do, people from other than the United States, if you live in another country, you have to have friends or relatives that live here that's where the charm can be sent, and then they can put it in the package and send it to you with whatever else they send you. So yeah, I just too many of them got lost, and it just wasn't worth it. The aggravation, and I don't know if it's getting lost in the post offices in whatever country they're going to. Um, but we stopped sending them to South America real fast.
Oh,
Nobody ever got them in South America. Nobody ever got them in Mexico either. We've gotten a few people have gotten some in Sweden and Germany, but then all of a sudden it was like it just got really bad. And with the COVID, oh no, 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 no. The post office wasn't working anyway. Why would you send something out?
so Lewis, Amy is offering to send for you or send one over for you because I know you mentioned at one point like family members having to send it to where it's not so
Right,
blatant that it's a business package. So
right.
there you go, Lewis. Um,
If even if you were to send it, Melissa, the store would have the store name on it with the stamp and everything. That's a big red light. I mean, that's like shooting off fireworks. Take me, take me, take me, because this might be something really special. So yeah, see, it wouldn't even work for you to do it.
right, yeah, because and I wonder too because of business to business overseas, is it like a customs and a taxation, and then when they finally open it, and they're like, oh well, this isn't worth it, then it goes into that holding pile.
That's right. It's just a nightmare. It's just totally a nightmare.
Let's see. Who one of our friends was going to ask if Rhonda asks, does Adam remember his last name?
Oh, he's shaking his head, yes, but apparently it's a long last name.
Maybe
And
Polish.
he's going like this, like it's a long last name. So I think it would be too hard to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right. Sounds like probably ends in SKI. Or of the sort, I guess. It's usually
Sorta, yeah.
Just go down the road, Adam, down the road. Go north. Let's see. So Sharon says you can send it as a gift and it costs nothing for them to pick it up from customs. So there we go. We're getting some ways around for you there, Lewis. Yeah, and Amy says I send painted rocks over there and has no problems. So Lewis, I don't know because you're on YouTube, so I don't know how we connect you in with like Amy to send over for you. And how close are you to Wales? I wonder if Rebecca's got a friend in Wales she can ship to and then drive over. But Lewis says, could you pretty please do a Wednesday video on ghosts you met at Fashion Week?
All they do is complain that they could do it better and it looks terrible on them and she's not skinny enough and look at her hair, it's terrible. They're very catty. What else would you possibly expect?
Right. Let's see. So Lewis is in London. And Rebecca says she's got cousins in Wales and they'll be on the Zoom on August 30th. Oh, that's awesome. Hey. And Brooke says the favorite part of her package that came yesterday was the sticker with your kitty cats.
Oh, Ted, he just likes that stamp of his, let me tell you.
Aw.
Spell it right, London.
Let's see. Have you ever had a ghost that was funny or didn't mind having around like that?
This is the thing. Even if it's somebody you know, there's still going to be an energy drain. They can't help it. They're not doing it intentionally. Yes, some of them do it intentionally, but there's still going to be a problem. And why would you want them stuck? They can't go on physically, mentally, spiritually. They're better off going into the light and, learning what they can do there than being stuck. I mean, some of the ghosts I could be friends with, but I don't want them living with me.
Right. Um, Tony asks, is a ghost and the soul the same thing?
I think the spirit of a person that yes, I believe it's the same thing. And I think that a lot of the churches are coming around to that also.
That's kind of an interesting to consider. And then you have like the Egyptians that I believe it's the Egyptians, like they broke the soul into three parts. So like kind of like in some metaphysical realms you'll hear like the mid self and the higher self, like the highest consciousness of that same like entity in a way.
But there's something to that, because when people go into the light and they become reincarnated, part of them does stay behind. So you can still dream of them and see them in dreams and everything like that. So, you know what? Everything is connected somehow. Everything is, people just have parts and pieces of everything. But I think it's all the same. I think it's the same thing, just told differently.
Mm. Let's see. So was it there? There it is. Brooke says wants to know if he died in Ohio. Pretty sure he did.
He said yes. And I think you nailed it, Melissa, with the park. What is that? The park by you, is it close to railroad tracks, Melissa?
The Rocky River Reservation is huge, and there could be. There very well could be.
Somewhere around the park where there's railroad tracks.
I might have to spend my next day off next week kind of exploring around, which I've been looking like, where am I going
And
to
you
go?
should see, yeah, and you should see how he explained that to me.
The chugging of the train, the wheels, right?
Right, and I got it.
Go charades.
Yeah, I got it. Yay for me.
Lewis, as a follow up, says, I will admit, everyone in the fashion business is really bitchy.
Yeah, they really, really are. So are the people that come to watch the show.
Oh.
They're just as bad as some of the ghosts, believe me.
And he says, and it's true, half of the stuff the designers put out are so un-iconic.
That's a good word, un-iconic. Yeah, no, I agree. There are some weird clothes up there that a normal woman is never going to wear, as far as I'm concerned.
So T says, talk about a ghost you encounter that startled or scared you upon initial encounter.
The only one that really bothered me was the one that flipped the axe in front of me to scare me. And that one is in the book. The story of that one is in When Ghosts Speak, or As Alive, So Dead. And there is actually in that book a picture of the ghost that threw the axe at me. So yeah, that was the only, and I don't think I was more shocked that somebody actually did that. I mean, and 20 minutes before that, I tried to open a door down in the basement and it pushed back. And all that did was like, okay, I'll come back to it. It didn't scare me. Mm-hmm. But when that axe just went right in front of my face, it's like, oh, you got to be kidding me. So that was the only time, really, the only time that that's ever happened. And that was probably 40 years ago now.
See, the only ghost I want throwing axes anywhere near me is like Jason Momoa when he's doing that. Like, I'll watch that. Let's see. So there's a couple of suggestions about the park. So one, Julie, and I know she lives kind of in the area. She's wondering if it was Slimy Rock Park in Olmsted Falls. And I'm kind of wondering, like, maybe the names have kind of changed over the years. Or Deborah says Grand Pacific Junction on Columbia Road.
Oh, I know that one because I
Because you
used to
know,
go to a beauty shop there.
in down in
And
Oaks.
that's where that Quince restaurant was.
Okay. So there, and
Oh,
no, not this one. Okay. Um, somebody asked if he was riding a bike when he had his accident.
no,
Driving. Was it the
driving.
was it a train that hit him, or did he go off like a
It was around the trail road, somewhere around wherever that's where the accident occurred, wherever these railroad tracks were, but not on the railroad tracks. Right, not on the railroad tracks, just around wherever they are.
Okay.
Okay, 6, 2, 3, 2.
6232.
So SS. Last 4 numbers of the Social Security.
Well, hey, internet sleuths. Who's good at going to the library and looking up microfiche and looking for newspaper if it was reported in the paper? Well, if it makes you feel better, Adam, Melody says she's sorry for you and is sad. Oh, and Geezer's wanting to know, like, how antsy, how frustrated is he to like leave and go?
He wants to go. He's waiting. He's got a wristwatch on it. He keeps going like this.
Like, move it along, ladies. Should we be
well, he's right. We're past. Okay, I didn't know what that meant. We're past the time.
Okay, so should we say, like, I'll go take the seat down only if you go into the light? Does that count as bribery?
Giving the impression that he's going to go anyway. So he's going to go. I think he's going to go to the
funeral home up there.
Well, you can see him really good in front of that window now. You can even see his head above the window.
That little light spot above it by the sunbeam part.
Right.
Oh, right. Well, let's let him out before we end, just to make sure he leaves. All right. There you go.
Still standing there. Well, he knows he can get out now. So
I will put this back up. And I have another one in my bag in my room. I will wear one and keep one up. We can play this game.
Okay. No.
He's gone. All right. Well, I'm going to go put this up and then I'll switch it out when I find my kitty cat. Yeah.
Now, the energy, there's still some fog in there, but that's his energy. And that's what I talk about, that it takes about a week to 10 days for all of that energy to settle and dissipate. So, but it will definitely, and if you wanted to smudge, then that would take care of that faster. But okay. I think we're good. I think we accomplished what we wanted to do today. So this is good.
Yay. So, anybody kind of coming in a little later, we did this as an example of like what happens on the Zooms. How Marianne can interact. Now she can't clear them this way, but and it's limited information that can be given. So it's not full-blown conversations with the earthbound spirit, but it's, as you see, he was able to give a social. We kind of were able to get part of his name, not that long last name, but
you pick and you knit what you can do.
Yeah. So,
but the thing is this, and we've seen it for how long we've been doing this, way over a year now, and people that get the information from their original Zoom come back on, not the next one maybe, but the one after that, and they followed the instructions and the house is clear. So it works. And it sure beats me going out of state, which is what obviously is not a good thing to do now. So,
Right.
which reminds me, which is totally blew my mind when I got getting ready to do the YouTube tonight. Every letter that I'm doing tonight is from out of the United States.
Okay.
Every letter is from a foreign country, which I
Nice.
didn't know that there was that many.
Well, it's funny. I was mentioning to you before we went live how one of my internet reps through all of this chaos, like she's from Brazil, and I don't know if she got to log on and watch. I'm like, oh, you should join. And she's like, it's very, usually in our country, I think she was saying like there's the belief, but because of the change in times, like it's belief but not acknowledged. And here, you might be crazy. And I'm like, well, welcome to your tribe of crazy. We're all crazy here. And this is what we do.
And no, that's not a ghost behind me. That's the cat playing underneath the drapes. So I don't want to hear about the ghost behind me.
It's like, is that Bill or Bob?
It's Bob. It's Buddha Bob back there making, yeah.
Oh, well, one of these days we'll have to get Bill or Bob on camera. We've seen Sith, which he's wandered off somewhere. I don't know where he went. He's away somewhere.
Went to find his hiding hole.
I kind of suspect. So I had a new bedroom set, and it's a platform with the drawers underneath. And the headboard's not completely up against the wall. It's spaced a little bit because I'm thinking like apartment walls, don't want to damage them, right? And I think he's getting underneath the bed back there. I haven't gotten down and tried to reach around to see if but I kind of suspect that's where he's hiding, because he's not where he was hiding yesterday or behind the washer and dryer. But he's, and I'm like, how is it so small in here and you can still hide where I can't find you? Okay, let's see. Yep, the request to come down to Savannah, Georgia. When COVID and all these variants are probably slowing down and safe to do. I've kind of helped.
I just
finding the next place even for local in live other than maybe the store, because that's easier to control my own building versus trying to, like, the museum was great fun, but if we're gonna be having issues again with another lockdown possibly coming up, I do not want to have people pay and then be like, well, I have your money, we're not doing an event because the government said. Like, I hated that feeling.
And the beginning of the event at the store is free. It's only if you stay for the talk after where there's a fee. So
yes, and I do recall there was the question about if people could bring a book that they already own, and you absolutely can. Marianne will sign them for you. If you don't have
yours, yes,
you can get one. I've had people come in, ask to buy the books, and you can either ship them out or you can give us an address and we'll charge you the postage, but we'll ship them out for you. Good question. What animals are better at sensing spirits, cats or dogs?
I think that the cats are actually better at sensing ones that have crossed over, because they usually are high and you always see cats staring at ceilings. The dogs, I think, are a little bit better at earthbound ones, unless an earthbound spirit's been mean to a cat, then the cat's very aware of where they are. But I think they each are better at one than the other.
Oh, right. Oh, and let's see. Amy brings up a very good question. If you're watching, whatever platform you're on, please go ahead and hit the like, the subscribe, because it really makes sure that the videos are distributed and you are more likely to get notified. So like if you're watching on Marianne's Facebook page, hit like for it. Always, please feel free to share it. We want to make sure you guys see this if you enjoy it. And the more you interact with the video and liking it and sharing it and even commenting, even if you're just saying hello once or twice, like, it helps the algorithm of the platform know that you want to see it. So very good call. Thank you, Amy. I should do a better job at like promoting that, but I don't want to. I feel sometimes kind of like shady, like hit like, and I'm like, that's so corny.
Well, I know. And it's the same thing. I hate talking, we'll get the book and do this. And
I don't
The
like being
store's
salesy.
there. There's stuff there to help you, but it's your choice whether you do it or not.
Yeah.
It's
For owning a store, I hate being salesy and pitchy. Like feeling like that late night
right,
knife selling guy, like, or those
right.
collectible planes that only so many were minted.
That's right. I like baloney.
Right.
So
But
I think
that's
we're
what-
done. I think we're good. We're way after 11.
see what
So
happens when you have a ghost, you go over. So
that's
real
right.
quick, if you need to order charms, Marianne's store, hit the shop button. You can get all sorts of charms and jewelry. And if you want to join us for Zoom, here's the link that will work. It'll automatically populate the sessions and dates that have space still available. So feel free to join us on Zoom. It is 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. So please do your time adjustment. We love to have friends from all over the world join us, but please make sure you do the time adjustment. But I think we are over. But join us next Wednesday, our next coffee talk.
Everybody have a good week. Don't forget the new moon on Sunday, and we'll do it again next Wednesday.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.